Vamos a sorber el café. Ahora sí vamos a tomarlo. ¿Por qué? Porque nosotros aquí.
Welcome back to the Global Gyal Adventures, everyone. If you're new to the channel, please like this video and subscribe to keep up with more adventures to come. Today, we continue in Colombia as we wrap up our time at the cabin in the mountains and head to explore Colombia's largest city, Bogota. Join us as we tour around Colombia's capital and learn a thing or two about the culture. But first, we have to say goodbye to our wonderful hosts, Cristobal and Monica, and get a little Colombian geography lesson. But not before breakfast though. Y'all, I don't even like fruits, but I'm eating this. And it's good. That have to say something, Jack. I'm like closing my eyes and going, if you know, you know. Yeah. Ooh. See. Ooh. Hi, buenos dias.
You have honey?
Ooh,
Honey bees?
Sí.
Honey bees?
Honey, sí.
You want more honey?
Ah, muchas gracias.
Nada, chica.
Day 3. Day 3? Day 4? 4. Day 4. Café de colombiano y breakfast de francés. Sí. Y Alecka de Antigua.
Sí.
In Caribe, sí. Am I faking it well? I think I am. I'm a happy food dance. I'm telling you, you don't even need no syrup. Not at all. After we wrapped up our lovely breakfast, Cristobal was ready to give us a South American geography lesson. Cristobal's work as an architect has taken him all over the country, so he's extremely knowledgeable about it, having visited many places others haven't.
And Brazil. The Rio de la Plata and other rivers very
Big.
Oh,
Big.
all over.
yeah, and the second river in South America in importance,
Sí.
it's the Orinoco River,
Orinoco, sí.
que es the river Venezuela and Colombia.
Sí.
Atlántico.
Sí.
This is Atlantic
Sí, sí.
because the Antillas, Caribbean Sea,
Sí.
y todo esto es Atlantic.
Sí. It became a language and geography exchange as we all got to practice the little Spanish and English that we knew.
English Harbor.
Sí.
Esa es el sitio.
Sí.
Y up here and up here, el agua is a little rough, but nothing like the Pacific. After learning about South American and Colombian geography and a little history, we were able to teach them a bit about our country Antigua and Barbuda and the Caribbean, known as Las Antillas in Spanish. This experience was definitely one of the highlights of our stay, learning with these amazing people. Hey everyone, so we are packing up to leave Faoa and Brazo de Nubie, I think. We're leaving Cristobal and Monica, and it's so nice here. So nice. Anyways, but we're on to new adventures. We're driving back to Bogota. It's about a 2-hour drive. We're going to explore the city for a couple of days, and then we are flying to our main city that we're going to live in. So continue to follow us There's Alecka packing up everything, or her stuff, and me trying to fit my stuff in here. But yes, so we go. So thanks for tuning in to our time in San Francisco, and please stay tuned for our time in Bogota. Okay, bye. Bye, 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 bye. Everyone, I want to introduce to you the two owners of Taho.
Abrazo de nube.
See, this is Monica and Cristobal, and they've been so amazing here taking care of us. First time in Colombia, and so anybody who wants to take some time away to relax, definitely come out here. They will take excellent care of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Adios. Bye. Adios. Bye. Let the journey to Bogota begin. The 2-hour ride back to the major city was seamless, seeing the never-ending mountains and eventually swapping them out for skyscrapers instead. The highway was busy with trucks full of goods going back and forth between the port at the coast and the capital city. Fun fact, Bogota is actually located on a mountain, so it's very high up. Funnily enough, we even spotted some cyclists keeping up on the steep highways headed to the city. Eventually, we made it to our hotel in the central part of Bogota, where we checked in and immediately went to find something to eat. Okay, and look, the room comes with Alecka. This is the room. It's definitely, I don't know, I kind of like our other one better, but that's okay. I do, but it's not a good location. Anyways, and then here's El Baño. Now we're going to be learning Spanish con me. Here we go. So yeah, it's not so bad. But the outside is the best because look, it's the city. And y'all, Bogota is huge. It is so huge. Y'all, how does go? I just ordered a tamarind drink. The best thing ever. This tamarind comes straight from the tree and it's cold. This makes so much sense. Why don't we do this back home in the Caribbean? If you do in your island, let me know, but this will cool it down and give you all the sugar and tamarind you want. So good. But I'm not lie, I use plenty sugar in this. Sucre, no, that's French. Azúcar. Mucho azúcar. We ended the day off by eating some Thai food from a restaurant close by that Cristobal recommended to us. The very next day, we started our exploration of Bogota, with our first stop being at El Museo de Oro, or the Gold Museum. Located in the heart of Bogota, this gold museum has the largest collection of prehistoric goldwork in the world. The museum has 34,000 gold pieces, each holding significant historic value. We perused around the 3 to 4 floors, admiring the pieces used by many indigenous people in the country. After we had our fill of gold, we headed to another place that's a must-see, which is El Cerro de Montserrat, or the Montserrat Hill. We opted to take the cable car up because the distance was no joke. At the top is the Sanctuary of Montserrat, which is the most visited sanctuary in Bogota. It also has this amazing view of the city and hosts many souvenir and food spots. It's amazing. Wow. Bogota is huge. Grande, muy grande. You could tell this was definitely a popular tourist spot because people continuously were coming up and down the hill. And you could see from the setup they used that they were used to seeing way more people. Right now, y'all, we're with the clouds. We're that high up because then and if they come first, oh my. It is said that devotees walk up the almost 2-mile path to this traditional site of religious pilgrimage, and that faith is a driving force behind why so many people visit this place. Okay, so in a church, the church that's up here, I guess people come up here and go to church. In your cold, you cold now, you cold. Next, we checked out the area that had a slew of souvenirs available, and the food court area that seemed to go on for days.
From the cow. This is chorizo, plantain, chicharrón. Do you want to try the chorizo?
After a little while, we decided to call it quits and head back down. It was getting extra cold being so high up especially, and we also wanted to beat the crowds back down. The next day though, we started another set of gallivanting, doing a walking tour around the city of Bogota. Good afternoon everyone. Been a long time since this camera's been in my face. I've tried to take it out and I forgot the memory card, and then the battery wasn't charged and the memory card was full. Excuses. Anyways, it is our last day in Bogota and we're taking a walking tour. Let me give you some background history. Bogota is Colombia's capital city. It's in the mountains, so at any point in time you're either 4,000 something meters above sea level or 8,000 something feet above sea level. And I was like, what about the Caribbean? Where were we? 0 feet above sea level? So anyways, so we're doing a walking tour. It's in Spanish and in English, so we're gonna understand, and we're also gonna be practicing Spanish. We're meeting up at this hostel, which is actually very nice. I've stayed in a lot of hostels in my earlier times in my travels, and this one, nice man, is very nice. But I don't want to be outside with my camera like that because, just because.
Cuidado con eso.
Gracias. So somebody I think just warned me about having my streets out on the camera. That is a thing in Colombia. You just have to be extremely, or at least in the cities, extremely careful about your electronics and stuff out. So I don't know how much of this I would catch. I would catch stuff, but just at the tourist areas, not when I'm walking around and stuff, because I want this camera to stick with me.
So no guys, I'm really excited to show you this. I want to show you coffee, I want to show you.
On this tour, we got to see, taste, and try a bunch of different things. The first being chicha. Our guide brought us to an indigenous people's cafe to try the popular fermented drink that has been made for centuries. All I can say is that it tasted very fermented. One of their oldest markets, I think. Oh, is that a soursop?
Soursop, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, chicos. Entonces,
Do you want sweet tomato?
Who am I, y'all? I think I'm topping out. I'm topping out. Passion fruit. She's saying 2 secret ingredients. One have to be banana. I know what the next one is. See, I can drink them. That's fine, to an extent. I want this one now. Ginger?
Yeah.
I can smell the ginger before I taste it. Maybe that fajoa thing. The sour green thing. After trying a bunch of different Colombian foods at this market, the exploration continued on the streets of Bogota, where we stumbled on a group of street performers.
Doña Leo, la del tornillo azul. Doña Leo. Por allá están los hijos. Ok. Bien. Pero, mi gente, ustedes me dicen
So many
cuándo vamos a
people.
comenzar. Duro, no se deje, no se deje. Duro, duro. Eso. Duro, marica, duro, duro. Dale, dale, dale.
It was very busy, with Colombians and tourists alike crowding the streets and out and about enjoying what was apparently a holiday weekend. It was at this point we reached the area that's said to be where the first houses were built in the city. The orange wall you see is meant to represent the first 12 houses built in the area. Our guide also gave us a little insight on immigration here in Colombia.
I was telling them 1 million of that people are Venezuela. Colombia is the country that receives more people from Venezuela in the world. Legally 2 million, but for sure illegally.
Next up was a visit to a coffee shop to try tea made from coca and authentic Colombian coffee. Isn't it the sugar? It tastes, I don't know, it kind of gives me a pepper pot smell. Yes, a pepper pot smell. Gracias.
Okay, after you smell the coffee, we're gonna smell the aroma. After that, we are gonna slurp the coffee. Vamos a sorber el café. Ahora sí vamos a tomarlo. ¿Por qué? Porque nosotros aquí tenemos esta.
One thing I found hilarious was that even though majority of the people in this small cafe were part of our tour, there were a handful that were actually just there to have coffee, but instead they had to end up in the middle of this whole tour of Bogota. It's the coffee. After that coffee break, we headed back to the streets of Bogota to continue our tour. Our guide took us down a street bustling with people, vendors, street artists, and so much more. I recorded a bit of it so you could see exactly what it was like.
Apoyamos el arte vivo hecho en Pisa, apoyen el arte.
So she was telling me that most of the people here are tourists, like Colombians as well, and today's Saturday and Sundays will be much busier. She said much busy. Mass busy. Whoa. Welcome to Plaza de Bolivar. Located in La Candelaria in downtown Bogota, this plaza is the main square for Colombia's capital. Filled with rich history for the country, the square is home to many historical buildings and a statue of Simon Bolivar himself. The square is surrounded by the primary cathedral of Bogota, the Palace of Justice, the national capital, and the N.B No Palace, which is actually the house of the mayor. So I think this is the Simon Bolivar Park, and I'm not saying it in the right Spanish way, but we're gonna learn more about it right now. We're just taking pictures, but y'all, it's huge, it's gigantic, and so many people are around. Very touristy, but it's absolutely beautiful. The architecture, and I don't know what these things are. I feel like this is a church because it just looks churchy. It actually looks like it belongs in the Hunchback of Notre Dame movie. If you've ever been there, if you've ever watched it, and with like the girl Esmeralda and she performs it, yeah. And then I don't know what this means, but it means something. And then this is the Colombian flag up there, and that's the statue of him, I think. And so I'm gonna go look and see what that is. After a bunch more walking through the city, we ended the evening at a local bar where our guide arranged for us to play a game called Taho, which is actually a traditional sport of Colombia. The game involves throwing a heavy disc, a Taho, at some targets that are filled with mini explosives, so that if you hit it, you'll hear a bang. Alcohol is encouraged but not mandatory. The group of us got together and definitely enjoyed ourselves trying out this new game. Speaking of, most of the people in our group are actually from Panama. Hot chocolate and some light snacks were served at the end of the evening, all included, and our guide used this as an opportunity to tell us a bit more about Colombia's turbulent history and how things are changing in present day. She also taught us a very Colombian technique of adding cheese to your hot chocolate. It tastes better than you think.
Pero el caso es que eso también desató otro tipo de violencia en las que esas tierras eran tomadas por esos grupos y empezaban a tener otras producciones. Esto siempre puso a los civiles, a los inocentes en el medio. Colombia ha cambiado a lo largo de los años, sí. Por ejemplo, al comienzo se producían los grupos armados. Luego, en los 80s y los 90s, vivíamos en un país corrupto. Gente como Pablo Escobar y muchas familias crecieron en la...
The walk around the city was amazing, and if you're listening, Julia, you were a great tour guide. I recommend her and the walking tour any day. We left shortly afterwards and headed back to our hotel to pack for the big day that lay ahead the next day. Our flight to the new place we call home, Medellin. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with Global Gyal's Colombian and Ghanaian adventures.